Hey BookTube, welcome back to another Friday Reads video. So I finished a couple books, one of those being James Lovegrove's Sherlock Holmes, The Beast of the Stapletons. This is the one that's a sequel to The Hound of the Baskervilles. It takes place like 5 years after those events. I kind of mentioned it in my last Friday Reads video. I was nearly finished with it at the time. Said I wasn't enjoying it. That kind of held true to the end. I just don't think it did a really great job of capturing that essence of what we expect from a Sherlock Holmes story. But the beginning part of it, it's not actually Watson in a way telling the story from his own first person account of the events taking place around him and Holmes. It's more Holmes and a man named Greer who go to visit Sir Henry Baskerville, and he comes back and kind of tells Watson what took place, because Watson was too afraid to kind of go to the scene where he had encountered the beast, the hound at the time. So he's got a little PTSD and is a little too frightened to go and kind of pretend he's too busy to work. But then further events happen throughout the story that he ends up going, feeling guilty from not, accompanying Holmes earlier. And so then it kind of shifts and it's kind of more his voice. But I still just felt like the story just didn't capture my attention. It's like they tried to throw too much stuff in there and I just really wasn't feeling it. So yeah, didn't enjoy that one at all. Another book that I got, I borrowed this one from work. This is a Japanese manga by Junji Ito, one of the best horror manga artists in Japan. And this is a collection of his earlier works entitled Deserter. Deserter is the name of one of the stories within the book. Again, wasn't too thrilled with this particular collection. I just didn't think it was some of his better stuff. You can see the master that's to come, but I just don't think these stories quite cut it. I'll give you an idea of some of his artwork. Kind of very distinctive when you see his work. You kind of know it's his. But yeah, some of these started out promising and they just didn't. They can be quite bloody hit times. I think it was black and white, but yeah, I just some of them had some really great promise and they just kind of fizzled out, and I just didn't really like this collection all that much. But I really like his other work, so if you ever want to pick them up and try them, I definitely recommend Uzumaki. It's a trilogy. You can get it in one bound format. There's Viz Comics is putting out these like really beautiful hardcover editions of his works, and Uzumaki you can find like one edition, and that one's really quite good. I also finished Villa in Sicily, Olive Oil and Murder by Fiona Grace. This is the one described as a cats and dogs cozy mystery, book 1. And at the time, I think my last Friday reads, I had mentioned that I didn't understand why it was called a cozy, a cats and dogs cozy mystery, because all of the books begin with the title A Villa in Sicily. I still think they should call it that, but I can understand in a way where that's coming from, because our main character is a vet, so she's got that kind of history, with the animals. So that's where you're getting that from. So Audrey Smart is our main character, and she's not very happy with her job, and she's kind of belittled at work and stuff, and not taken seriously. And she's just getting really, really fed up. She's in an apartment that the building's being sold out from under her, and the new owners are going to like double her rent. So she's having kind of trouble making ends meet and just gets so fed up with work. She ends up quitting and answering this kind of ad she sees in a paper for a $1 home in Sicily. But then you have to kind of renovate it. And I thought that was a bit crazy. She ends up winning the bid because they find out that she is a vet and they need professionals. They need a veterinarian in this small little town. And so she decides to take a chance. She's going to go to Sicily and check out this home. And it's a bit of a disaster of a house, but she has a bit of do-it-yourself kind of capabilities that she kind of picked up from her dad, but there's a whole lot more than she bargained for when she gets there. And other houses in the area are being renovated by other people who've, bought these homes. And there's one across the street. She's very annoying, kind of rich. She's basically planning on flipping the house, but she has like this whole crew coming in there and making all sorts of ruckus, and they're just like dumping stuff on her property and making all sorts of noise at all hours of the day. And she gets into an argument with the owner of this construction company. And then she kind of feels bad. And the next day she decides to bring some olive oil over, and a bottle of olive oil, and kind of make amend, make up to the guy. She passes the owner of the house, who she's already kind of not gotten along with, who's off on a run, and she goes in the backyard and finds the guy dead, and she's holding his boot, and she's just like not knowing what to do. And the woman has come back and sees her, and now says that, basically points the finger at her, like she must have done it, she must have killed him, she had this argument. So she's like a number one suspect as the story goes along. So she of course has to kind of try and find a way to clear her name, but she can't. She's really stuck. Everything is kind of piling up on her. She can't leave town, she can't go off to get supplies she needs for the house. She needs to get her license. How's she gonna get a license when she's a suspect in a murder? And it's just crazy. But I really, really like the character. I really like the whole setting and everything, and this dilapidated house and the things she encounters, and just her trying to work out, what happened. And some of the other characters, Mason's the guy that, another American living and also renovating one of these houses, who he has more skill. That's kind of what his profession is. So he's a really great character, and just a lot of people in the area really enjoyed the story quite a bit. So I highly recommended that, and I enjoyed it so much. In fact, I picked up book 2, which is also called A Villa in Sicily, and this one is subtitled Figs and a Cadaver. I'll read you the synopsis of this one really quick. Let's see. Okay, it says Audrey Smart. She's 34. She's made major life changes, walking away from her life as a vet and from a string of failed romances, and moving to Sicily to buy a $1 home and embark on a mandatory renovation she knows nothing about. She's busy working to open the town's new shelter, while also renovating her own problematic home and dating again. With the help of her friends, she begins taking in sick strays. There's a lot of stray animals in this particular town. One of the reasons why they really wanted her there. But not everyone in town is grateful for her services, and she soon makes unexpected enemies. When Audrey gets a tip about an injured dog near the coast and goes to find him, she finds the dead body of a powerful local instead. And Audrey is now a suspect, but can she solve the crime and clear her name, or will her Sicilian dream fall apart? So once again, she's apparently become the number one suspect in another crime. So she's got a string of bad luck. It's kind of funny. So I'm also reading The Walking Dead Compendium 4, and this is moved along a little bit more. As you can see, I'm almost halfway. So it's quite a hefty tome. I just kind of read this at night, take out about 20 pages or so, and then set it down with a loud boom till the next night. So it's not something I'm carrying around with me. It's just too much. And then I've started a new audiobook. This is actually a reread for me because it's a 5-book series, and I never went past book 1. I read the physical book for it, and I happened to see that you could get all 5 books on Audible, and I thought, what the heck? So this is the Fringe series, Fringe Runner by Rachel Akis. I've read quite a few of her books. I really, really enjoy them. I'll go ahead and give you the synopsis of this in case you don't remember from the last time I read it. Okay, so it says, after the colonization of Mars and Europa, it took us fewer than 5 generations to reach beyond our solar system and discover new planets capable of supporting human life. Too far away to be governed under Earth law, the collective was formed. Several hundred years later, the collective has expanded to a thriving system of 6 inhabited worlds. Old Captain Aramis Rain and his ragtag crew on the Griffin are runners, part of the collective's interplanetary postal service. They deliver mail and supplies to the farthest, darkest reaches of the system known as the Fringe. After a warship captain confiscates one of his packages, Rain discovers a galactic conspiracy involving military leaders, secret organizations, fringe rebels, and pirates, with the Griffin's crew stuck in the middle. The only way out is for Rain to make an impossible delivery, and the entire collective is at stake if he fails. So it's another one of these big space opera stories, not unlike the one I read, or listened to rather, from her recently, which was, I forgot the name of the series. It was Rogue Planet. Give me 1 second, I will bring it up. I had it in my head not too long ago, and now it's gone. The joys of getting older. One moment here. The Flight of the Javelin series. Okay. That was a trilogy. Kind of left a little bit of an opening for more continuation. But the interesting thing is, Captain Throttle from the Flight of the Javelin series is actually Artemis Rain's daughter in Fringe series. So I'm kind of seeing her earlier storyline now that I'm kind of backtracking into the Fringe series. So that's really cool. I remember reading that somewhere, and I hadn't realized it when because I listened to the Fringe quite some time ago. So kind of backtracking again now, it's just like, oh wow, that's right, that is the same character. But I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, if you're looking for a really good sci-fi series, Flight of the Javelin, this Fringe series. She also writes some really great horror, like the zombie series, Deadland Saga. That's a trilogy. Really, really enjoy Rachel Akas's stories. So that's kind of what I'm up to right now. What are you guys up to? What are you reading? Something good, I hope. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into bed and, I don't know, maybe pick up some more Walking Dead. We'll see. So take care. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.